everybody. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of Afternoon Drive Home and The Edge on IC Radio. Thank you again so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm so excited. I've got AP Steadham with me right now. He's our sports guy, you know that. He is also a talk show host and he travels all over the country, and I'm really jealous because of where you are right now.
Well, Don, I'm in the state of California in a Los Angeles area for the college football playoff national championship game between the Georgia Bulldogs, ranked #1, who are undefeated at let me see, that'd be 14-0, and then at the let me see, I think TCU is number 3, and their TCU is 13-1, 13-1. They had the one defeat in the championship against Kansas State, but they're here representing the Big 12, so it's going to be a fantastic ball game tonight. It should start at 4. You see, to be Central Time, it'll be about 6:30 or so. I believe that's what it is, something like that.
Now, if you see me, okay, if you have a sign or something, you say, "Hi, Donna." I mean, or send money. So it's going to be really exciting. Do you think it's going to be a close game, or do you think it's going to be grand?
I think so. I believe that, TCU is a team that plays fast and loose. Donna, imagine this now. What was the 7th team picked to win the SEC? I don't even know who that was. I don't even know. But anyway, they were picked 7th in the league. I think there's 10 teams in the league, 7th in their league, and they here they are, the national championship game. I mean, they have recruiting classes that are maybe 25, 30, 35, 40, whatever. And here, Georgia recruiting classes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever they may be. But as I always tell everybody, you can only take 25 players or so, and Georgia can't get everybody. Alabama can't get everybody. Clemson can't get everybody. Ohio State, all these teams. But it's what you do with the players, and then you have the transfer portal, and can you develop the players. So here's Sonny Dykes, the Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year. I was at that ceremony on Saturday evening. They held that at the hotel on the 18th floor. That's sponsored by the Football Writers Association of America and the Sugar Bowl. So they were both represented. So Sonny Dykes was the Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year. In his first year at TCU, has him in the national championship. Donna, I mean, now the expectations are to the sky for him and his team in the future. But I think it's going to be a close ball game. I projected TCU would win. I just feel that they're confident. It's kind of reminds me of the time, Donna, when I interviewed the Clemson players before they played Alabama the first time, and they were saying, "Oh, I think we can win," and they ended up losing in a close game. But the next year when I interviewed them, they says, "Oh, we know we can win," and they beat Alabama. But this team, yeah, it's attitude. So this team, they feel they can beat anybody at this point. I mean, they played the mighty Michigan Wolverines, and they put 51 points on them. So I just feel that TCU has a mental edge. We know Georgia's tough. We know Georgia's very good, talented. Stetson Bennett, the fourth-year quarterback. They have these tight ends, Brock Bowers especially. He's sensational. He's a mismatch for anybody because he's so big and he can run. So, but I just think that TCU, their set of receivers, Don, it was a great quote that the receiver for TCU gave me the other day, Quentin Johnston. He's about 6'3", 6'4", big receiver, going to be a tough matchup. They have Kaylee Ringo is going to probably guard him. Kaylee's 6'2" or so himself. But the receiver said our quarterback, Max Dugan, will compete until he can't breathe.
Wow. So let me ask you a question, though. This is about TCU. So, and I know Georgia's a great team. I know they are.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
What are some of the weaknesses and the strengths TCU has over Alabama?
Right. TCU, Don, they give up about 25 points a game, let's say, around 25 points. So we know that their defense, Georgia gives up maybe half that amount, 13, 14. Yeah. So defensively, but they have some ball hawks on the other side. They intercepted a couple passes, ran it back for touchdowns against Michigan. That gave them 14 points to start the ball game. So, and they're +9. I believe it's +9 down in the turnover category. We all know that is one important category if you're on the plus side. I think Georgia's -2. So that's a big advantage, that one statistic. TCU. If Georgia turns that ball over, watch out. TCU probably put some points on the board, maybe some touchdowns. That would be an advantage for them. But that, like I said, their defense is not as stout as Georgia's, so that would be a vulnerability. One thing about TCU, Don, people think that Sonny Dykes, he's noted for throwing the football, but he has a running back, Keegan Miller, 1,300 plus yards. Now, we're not sure if he's going to play. He's not healthy, but the second string quarterback, Amari DeMarcado, I think that's how you pronounce his name, he had about 150 yards against Michigan, the second string running back. So definitely capable, definitely capable. And they've got a group of receivers that have all caught, let's say, between 3 and 5 touchdowns. So the quarterback, Max, he spreads the ball around. So that's a positive, big plus for them. And we all know Georgia is vulnerable to that pass. You can throw the ball against Georgia. Now, Georgia is going to pressure that quarterback, and they're going to come with all types of blitzes, and it's up to TCU to pick up all those extra pass rushers. But I just think that TCU, they have a good attitude. Now, if I remember right, I think they did turn the ball over three times in the Michigan game. So they need to have 0 turnovers and get a couple from Georgia. Yeah, to help themselves.
Yeah. And then let's talk a little bit more about Georgia.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we're from the South. We're really proud.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
So
Georgia's the
let's
number
talk
one team. Yeah, they're the number one team. There's no question about it. The reigning champion. It's a different set of players, Donna, on that team, from last year because they had the record 15 selected in the NFL draft. So they throw the ball a lot to their running backs, Donna. Georgia does. I mean, and that's tougher to cover because the matchup usually is in the favor of the running back than maybe of the linebackers guarding the running back. The running back is faster, more elusive. So they have a couple of good running backs for sure that can catch the football. Kenny McIntosh being one, but I think it's the tight end Brock Bowers. That's the most difficult matchup for any team. The tight end because he's big and he's fast and he's too big for the defensive backs. He's too fast for the linebackers. So what do you do? What do you do? You just do your very best. And Stetson Bennett, he's been playing well. He has the talent around him. He does have a tendency once in a while to throw some interceptions. He has 23 touchdowns, of even 7 interceptions. So one interception could be the difference in this game. One turnover in this game. Kicking game is pretty solid for Georgia. Pretty solid for TCU, both kickers. So if it comes down to that, let's say between 45, starting at 45 yards in, there's a high probability they could make the kick. But Donnie, you never know in the spotlight to win a ball game, to tie a ball game, to go ahead in a ball game, the kicker, the pressure. Sometimes they have a tendency to what's called over kick, and the ball ends up moving to the left. They just trying so hard to get the right distance, so that could happen. And then the two coaches down it. I mean, Sonny Dykes, he's not going to change very much. Kirby once in a while in these big ball games might have a trick play. He might pull that off in the kicking game or some type of play, offensive play. So watch out for that as well. But Sonny Dykes probably kind of stay true to what has been successful for his team throughout the entire season. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, something, the coaches, I'm sure the spouses of the coaches haven't seen much of the spouse lately. And because, they're having to dive in. So how are the coaches, do you think, are preparing for this game?
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do, they're trying to keep their team level, not too high, not too excited. I don't think they're going to be too relaxed, but just trying to temper their enthusiasm.
Yeah.
To make sure they know their assignments, no surprises on each side as far as understanding and grasping the other team's offense, the defense, their goals with the kicking game. We all know the kicking game. You can run some funny plays to get people offside, to get a first down, to switch from kicking a field goal to trying to score a touchdown. So you have to be ready with all the different options that each coach has presented, possibly will present you during the course of the game. So just keep your team focused on the task at hand. It's another football game, Donna. They've been playing since they're 10 years old, a lot of them. Okay, so no need to get excited. You're going to tackle the same way, block the same way, catch the ball, take the handoff, and you're going to look for the openings to run. You're going to pass with accuracy and try to pick out the receivers that are the most open and giving you the best chance for your receivers. The receiver's going to have to fight for the ball in the air, give their quarterback the best chance. So all these things are important. You're going to run fast on the kickoff return, the punt coverage teams, the kickoff coverage returns. You're going to do everything that you've been trying to accomplish, trying to execute since you're 10 years old. Same thing.
Mhm. Well, Alabama's coach, Paul Bear Bryant, was known for restrictions. Namath could tell you that. So, do
Right,
they
right,
put special, specific restrictions on the players maybe the night before?
right. I think Georgia's probably has more a tight rein on his. Kirby Smart has a tighter rein on his team probably than Sonny Dykes, because Sonny, his personality is different than Kirby. Kirby's kind of wound up,
Uh-huh.
tighter than a drum, But Sonny's kind of more relaxed and personable, but they both have interesting personalities. So.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So, which personality do you think stands out more when it comes to a game like this?
Yeah, this is to be Sonny's first time, I think, in a
Oh,
championship
really?
game. I'm not certain that he was an assistant in a championship game, but Kirby's done this many times. So he
Mhm.
made an interesting statement. He has been in so many of these games that he's comfortable living with the decision. And that's important
Mhm.
because he's not going to second guess himself.
Mhm.
So I think that was an interesting statement that he made. He can live with the decision.
Uh-huh.
So, that means that if he called the trick play and it doesn't succeed, he's not worried he's going on to the next play. He's not going to dwell on the mistake. Yeah, that's important.
Well, when you have something really important going on, with me, it's interviews. And so I just had a really interesting interview, a good one. It was the last interview with our Alabama Secretary of State, John Merrill. Couldn't
Right.
overthink it. I just had to think of John and me as being friends and getting
That's
this
right.
information out and just letting it go like that. Because if you ever overthink something, I
Right.
just have to be thrown into the fire. So
Right.
I
Yeah.
think coaching is a little bit like that too.
Yes. Yeah. You just have to remember, I've prepared hours and hours.
Hmm.
I've thought about every situation and tried to come up with the worst case scenarios. So I'm ready. I'm ready. Just proceed. You've done all your homework. You've done your homework, right? So you
Hmm.
feel confident approaching the test.
Hmm.
So the same attitude for the coaches. They have to perform on that day as well. They have to think properly and then take the best advice from their assistant coaches and staff. They have to be clear thinking and be able to make a decision fast. But
Right.
hopefully you can because you've already mapped out that possibility.
Mhm. That's
Yeah,
right. And expect the unexpected because you never know what can
that's
happen.
right.
Somebody could get injured, somebody critical could get injured. And
Yes,
then you just have to start all over again with your thought
yeah,
process.
yeah. That was the famous saying. Coach Bryant would say that expect the unexpected. He would tell his team, so they're poised and ready for all types of situations. That's important, very
It
important.
is. Now, you mentioned kickers just a minute ago, but which
Right.
kicker, if it came right down to brass tacks, which one do you think could swing it?
Well, I know the kicker from TCU down. They had an interesting experience. I believe that was at Baylor, and they were moving down the field. They're behind. I think they were behind. I think they were, and they had the kicking team itself had to run on the field quickly, set up, snap the ball, and kick it, and he made it.
Mhm.
So that was on the road at Baylor. So we know that he can make that type of kick. We know that the Georgia kicker, uh, you know, uh, he's performed in these big games.
Mhm.
So both sides have had their kickers have had experience in tight ball games, big ball games. But yeah, TCU won that game. They wouldn't be here probably if they had lost that game. Yeah, that was against Baylor.
So too. We're going to have to go into a commercial break in just a minute, but I want to talk basketball when we get back. But before
Okay.
we go into a break, Who do you think is going to win? What do you think the score would be?
Yeah, I projected TCU in a tight ball game. I probably think it's going to be, let's say 31-28, TCU, let's say.
I think it's going to be close too. It's going to be one of those nail biters. I really
Yes,
think so.
yes.
Let's go into a commercial break. We're going to be right back in just a couple of minutes.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and my employees and I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued support. With everything going on right now, your rest is so important. That's why we're having the biggest My Pillow sale ever. Not only are my bed pillows as low as $19.98, but you can get the best body pillows ever. Regular $89.98, now only $29.98. Take your rest on the go with our Roll and Go Anywhere My Pillows for only $14.98. And we have our new couch and accent pillows. They aren't just for looks. They have My Pillow's patented adjustable fill that gives you that amazing My Pillow comfort. In this economy, you get the best gifts ever for the best prices ever. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code and you get deep discounts on body, couch, bolster pillows, and so much more, including my original bed pillows for as low as $19.98. Please order now while quantities last.
At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales look forward to serving you. And you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Fort Payne and Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at TwinCityUsedCars.com or go by the locations in Fort Payne and Gadsden. We sincerely look forward to serving you. We're about to make your life just a little bit easier. Join Tony and April at Tony's Pizza and Subs in Center and Cedar Bluff, Alabama. We're cooking up some hot and delicious pizzas, and we'd like to bake one for you. We are home-owned, not a chain, and our pizzas are fresh, homemade with our dough made fresh daily. We have a full menu including fresh, never frozen wings, salad bars, suds, sandwiches, and much more. In Center, we have a private dining area for birthday parties, club meetings, and other events. We'll be waiting for you at 1820 East Bypass and Center, and in Cedar Bluff, 3812 Alabama Highway 9. For your convenience, you can call in your order at our Center location, 256-92 Pizza, or Cedar Bluff, 256-557-8651. And we enjoy making your life easier. Get away from it all and get ready for our tree house cottages. You will enjoy the memorable getaway with a beautiful interior, a charming outdoor space, and a prime location atop Miracle Pottery and near DeSoto Falls Trail, Little River Canyon, and Rock City. Our cottages are nestled along the foothills of Lookout Mountain, and the property features unparalleled natural beauty. Upon arrival, you'll immediately be drawn to the wet weather springs cascading under the cottage. Enter the home and you'll find that the breathtaking beauty of the exterior continues inside. Discover the hidden gems of Lookout Mountain from Spencer's Treehouse Cottage, a one-bedroom, one-bathroom vacation rental cottage. Night owls will appreciate the glow of the moon streaming through the windows, while early risers will love the early morning sunshine. Go to miraclepottery.com for more info. You can also call us at 256-635-6863. We're back. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of Afternoon Drive Home and The Edge on IC Radio. Again, thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, from 1 to 3 p.m. as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. And I get to bring this guy with me, too. His name is AP Steadham. AP, let's talk about your show.
Yeah, thank you, Don. Thank you very much. It's AP and Kelly as we see it. It's seen on your station at 4 p.m. every Friday, and we really enjoyed it. It's a 1-hour presentation. We have a guest each week, and we talk about all the teams in the Southeastern Conference, and we keep an eye on the national scene as well. And we try to have interesting guests. Last week we had a gentleman, Don. He's 6'8", over 300 pounds, played at the University of Florida, and he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers and a few other teams in the NFL, Max Starks, and he's the college and NFL analyst for ESPN Radio. So we had Max. He was very interesting. So we try to have some fun people on our show, and we love being on your network, IC Radio, 4 p.m. Fridays, every Friday, 4 p.m. Central. So we have a lot of fun. But yeah, you can see a lot of the things that I do, Don, are on our radio station's Facebook, AP and Kelly as we see it, and then also on my personal one at AP Steadham. I had a lot of interviews I did with the players, the Georgia players, the TCU players, the head coach, Kirby Smart, Sonny Dykes. It's all on my Facebook. I was really busy this past week in California. They had the 1-hour interviews for each team. We can interview anybody we can get in line to speak to that day. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So which interview really stuck out in your mind this past week? I know they all did.
Yeah. I think that Brock Bowers, I interviewed him when he's a freshman, tight end from Georgia. He was kind of quiet, pretty quiet, but he seemed to be more relaxed. And we had a good conversation. I had interviewed him at the Maxwell Awards in Atlantic City. So that was fun to talk to Brock. He's a tremendous player. I talk about him all the time when I'm mentioning that Georgia. That means he's one of the first names I discuss because he's so important, so talented. Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on in the world of basketball right now?
Yeah, basketball. Alabama with a big win over Kentucky. I think that's the largest margin ever, down at 26 points. If I can do my math here, what is that? 78-52 down in Tuscaloosa. So that was an extremely big ball game for Coach Nate Oates and his program. And that gives them a chance, probably with that type of performance, give them the confidence maybe they can win the regular season, possibly. And then we know Auburn is cruising right along. They'll have some hiccups here, but I think Auburn's a team down that's in the developmental stage, very talented players, but it's going to take them the entire season to continually improve. I think that's going to be the scenario for Auburn. But I'm so excited that both teams are talented and should be in the NCAA tournament. Should be.
Absolutely. We talk every year about the underdog. Who's the underdog? Who do you think is going to blossom and bloom and really get out there and show out?
Yeah, underdog team. Yeah, Don, I kind of have to review the basketball, kind of focused in on the football right now, but there's always someone that surprises in the Southeastern Conference. I think a team that right off the bat, Don, I think Missouri is a team. They're playing very well. Mm-hmm. I wasn't positive they would have a really good basketball team, but I think that's going to be the case. So yeah, Missouri. Watch out for Missouri early right now. Yeah.
What are the coaches at Alabama and Auburn thinking right now? What are they doing to plan to be number one?
In basketball, you're discussing. Yeah, right. Basketball. Well, in basketball, Alabama's a team, their style of play, they have to shoot the three ball well, and they have to defend. And then Auburn, their keys have always been rebound and defense. Bruce Pearl has his team very aggressive on that side of the ball, and then rebounding is a key for him. And offensively, I've seen in the past where it's kind of similar to Alabama. They like to shoot the three. But I have to watch them a little bit more to see if that's their style of play this year. But that's normally the Bruce Pearl team. Definitely can defend and rebound. They're aggressively.
Do you see Tennessee is upcoming like they have been in football? They really showed
Yes.
up.
Yeah, I think so. Tennessee has a good team. Rick Barnes. I saw their team play down in Brooklyn when I was up there for the Heisman Trophy. They defeated Maryland in a really good ball game. It was interesting, that game. They held Maryland to one field goal in the whole half. One 2-point field goal, and I think they had a couple 3-pointers and then some free throws. And that was I don't think I've ever been to a game where the other team scored one field goal in the half. I don't think I have. I've been to a lot of ball games. Yeah. So but yeah, Tennessee will be I think will be an NCAA team as well. Yes.
And Georgia playing in football. How are they doing? How are they faring in basketball?
Yeah, basketball is they have a brand new coach came up from Florida. Imagine that the Florida coach became the Georgia coach, Mike White. So he's building that program right now. Yeah, Don. So take a moment for him to get in the upper level of the conference. They have a great recruiting base. Yeah, great recruiting base in Atlanta for them.
Sounds good. Less than 3 minutes left in this segment. The questions that have been asked since you were on the show the last time, we're still all up in arms about Auburn football and the new coach.
Right. Yeah, it was a controversial selection. I use this word, and I don't take this lightly, but I think they sabotaged the last coach from within. I mean, they never give him a chance. If you didn't like him, that's one thing. But he's your coach. Once he's hired, that's it. That's the end of the complaint department should be shut down at that point as far as him being hired. Yeah, you review his performance for sure, but I'm not trying to go behind his back and put out false stories and then say, "Oh, go recruit." Well, you can't recruit when you're sabotaging your own coach. So. Yeah, this is a controversial hire. Hugh Freeze, he's had some off the field incidences. And matter of fact, Don, I'm glad you brought that up. I had a chance to speak to the commissioner. He let some of the reporters interview him, and that was one of the questions that was asked. Did the league stop Auburn from hiring Hugh Freeze? And as long as he complies with all the rules, the commissioner would not stop Auburn from hiring him. So we got that right from the commissioner yesterday in a little session with him.
Something, I run a small business here. Every dime counts, especially in this economy.
Right.
How can Auburn keep doing this? How can they keep firing people? I mean, because they're still paying out a lot of money to past coaches.
Yes, they're paying out. I think the last two coaches about $36 million, Donna. So how do they survive as an athletic department when they're paying that type of money? I don't know. It's all from the boosters. All from the boosters have extra money. Yeah, Donna. We should get hired. We need to get hired at Auburn, so we can get fired.
I think so too. Let's me and you go in. We can turn things around over there.
Yeah, we'll do it for a couple months, and they can sabotage us and fire us, pay us.
Pay me $1 million. That's all. That's all I need. $1 million.
That's all. Yeah.
Less than 30 seconds. What would you like to say before you go?
Oh yeah, just enjoy watching the game tonight. I think it'll be exciting. I believe it will. I'm encouraged by both teams. I think it'll be competitive. I don't want to see a blowout down. I don't want to see by the second quarter. I'm looking at my watch saying, when is this going to end? I want it to be right to the last couple minutes, and I think it will. I think it will. Yeah, I hope so. I hope it's exciting for everybody. But
the next time I see you, I'm going to ask you to hold your hands up. I want to see you. Hey, thank you so much for being with us. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, Don. My pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye now.
And we'll see you a little bit later. You take care. Bye-bye.